فَلَمَّا كَانَ يَوْمُ التَّرْوِيَةِ, and at tarwiyah is in reference to the 8th day of Dhul Hijjah. And the reason why it's given this name is because it's the day in which the people يَتَزَوَّدُونَ مِنَ الْمَاءِ يَتَرَوُّونَ, they stock up on their water supply before heading to Mina, before heading to Arafah, before heading to Muzdalifah. Of course, in those days, not like how it is today. Even today, it's difficult, subhanAllah, in terms of accessing water, although it's available, alhamdulillah. In Muzdalifah, it's very hard, subhanAllah. If you don't have enough your water, it's hard to find water. But alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Back then, it was even harder. So they would stock up on their own water. That would suffice them for the entire trip until they returned. And this is why it's referred to as Yawm al-Tarwiyah. And it's considered to be the first day of Hajj. The first day of Hajj. But this day is voluntary. It's also referred to, Yawm al-Tarwiyah, another name for it, is Yawm al-Nuqlah. Yawm al-Nuqlah, the day of transport. Because it's the day in which the people transport themselves from Mecca, from the Haram to Mina. And just to benefit, subhanAllah, each of these days connected to the Hajj, and they have a special name. The 7th day, although it's not connected to Hajj, it's not like, part of the Hajj rites. It's referred to as being Yawm al-Zina. Yawm al-Zina, the day of beautification, adornment. And the reason why it's referred to as being the day of adornment is because the people on that day would beautify their riding beasts. They would beautify their riding beasts so as to prepare for the trip to Mina on the next day. The 8th day is referred to as what? Yawm al-Tarwiyah or Yawm al-Nuqlah, as we mentioned. The 9th day is referred to as being Yawm al-Arafah. Why? Because al-Hajju Arafah. Arafah is Hajj. Naam. The 10th day is referred to as being Yawm al-Nahr, because that's the day in which many sacrifice. It's called Yawm al-Nahr. It's also referred to as Yawm al-Hajj al-Akbar, the day of the major Hajj. And the reason why it's called the day of the major Hajj is because many of the Hajj rites are performed on that day. Okay, on this day, there are 5 Hajj rites that are performed. Stoning the Jamrah. You have the Nahr itself, the slaughtering, the sacrifice. You have the Halq or Taqsir, the shaving of the head, or the shortening of the hair. You also have a tawaf al-ifada yani, and also you have the sa'i. So these are 5 actions that are performed on this day. What's another name for this day, ikhwan and akhawat? The 10th day of Dhul Hijjah. Eid, right? Eid al-Adha. Yawm al-Adha. Naam? Because it is an Eid. طيب. What about the 11th, 12th, 13th? Are they Eid as well? La. These days are not considered to be Eid. We only have 2 days of Eid in the year. Okay? And Yawm al-Jum'ah on a weekly basis. But in terms of the year, we only have 2 days of Eid. Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha. All right? As for saying that we have 3 days of Eid or 4 days of Eid, this is not correct Islamically in the legislation. However, they are breaks. 11th, 12th, and 13th are breaks, vacation. Okay, I guess you can say. They're days of break in which the people in the Muslim lands, they use as the days of celebration, etc. But they're not an actual Eid. طيب. The 11th day also has another name. It's called Yawm al-Ru'us. Yawm al-Ru'us, the day of the quote-unquote animal heads, because on the 10th day you slaughter, and the 11th day you eat from the sacrifice, and you share the sacrifice, people eat from others' sacrifice. طيب. It's also referred to as being Yawm al-Qarr. Yawm al-Qarr. Because the Hujjaj, they remain, and yuqirruna fi Mina. They remain in Mina. They have to spend the night. Mabit bin Mina is from the wajibat of the Hajj. The 12th day is referred to as being Yawm al-Nafr. Yawm al-Nafr al-Awwal. Yawm al-Nafr al-Awwal. While the 13th is referred to as being Yawm al-Nafr al-Thani. And the reason why it's called Yawm al-Nafr al-Awwal on the 12th is because it's the first day in which a person can depart Mina if they intend to depart. فَمَنْ تَعَجَّلَ فِي يَوْمَيْنِ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ. Whoever wants to leave Mina, only spend 2 nights, the 11th and 12th, then they can do so. they can leave, but they have to do so before the Maghrib of the 13th night. So that's why it's called the first day of departure. The 13th is called Yawm al-Nafr al-Thani, of course. وَمَنْ تَأَخَّرَ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ. Whoever wants to spend 3 nights in Mina, then you'll leave on the 13th. طيب? Everyone with me so far? So these are the names of these blessed days.